Okay.
All right.
So let's start with among. I'm just gonna put on. Did you guys finish the homework that I gave you last time?
Yeah, but it was some of it. I had trouble with some of the problems.
Okay. I'm just gonna share screen. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. There we go. So, which question did you not? Are you guys confused? Like, close.
Wait, what did you say again?
Which one are you like not? You struggle with? Like, are you struggling with?
I had trouble with 25, 26, and 50.
Which one?
25, 26, and 50.
25, 26, and 50.
50, yeah.
Okay. 25, 26. Okay. So let's go over 25 together. So here they give you the endpoint and the midpoint, right? And
Yes.
they want you to find the other endpoint. So I'm just gonna use the whiteboard. Oh, shoot. Whiteboard online. Which one? Oh. Google Whiteboard. Google. Okay, get started. So the question was, it's giving you the endpoint 30 and the midpoint 05. Let's draw it down. The endpoint, one endpoint is 30, right? The 3 zeros right here. The other one is 05. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's right here. So as we know, if this is the endpoint, right? And here's the middle point, then and it should be a straight line, right? So the other endpoint should be somewhere around here, right?
Yep.
So here, so we're just gonna use the distance formula, right?
Yeah.
So here's the distance formula, the x2 minus xy, right?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, but look, you can't, but you know that, wait a second. Probably we shouldn't use, maybe we can use middle point. Double check. Okay, here we go. I got it. So we know this is the 0, 3, 0. This is 0, 5, right?
Yep.
But this one we don't know, right? We don't know yet. So we're just gonna set it up as x and y. How's that? Okay?
Okay.
Get it? We're just gonna set it up like the x coordinate is x and the y coordinate is y. We just don't know like which number is it yet. But now, but we know that the middle point formula is xy, which is the first x, right? The first x value plus the second x value divided by 2 equals 0, right? Equals the middle point value, right?
Mm.
So 3 plus x
Yeah.
divided by 2 equals 0. So now you can solve for x, right? It's an
Yeah.
equation. So we just multiply times 2 on the both sides. So it becomes 3 plus x equals 0, right?
Yeah.
And now you get x equals -3. See?
Yeah.
See how that works?
Yeah. So you
And then you do the
almost.
same thing with y, right?
Yeah.
0, the y value plus the y 0 plus y divided by 2 equals the middle point, right? The middle point y value right here. So it's 5, right?
Yeah.
Which gives you y equals 5/2, right?
Yeah.
See? Get it now? So the middle, so the point over here is -3 and 5/2.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's okay. We can try another one. Here we go. Here. So you also not it's 26, right? So you don't
Yeah.
get 26. We can try. You guys can try to write this down. Like try to do it on your own right now.
Okay.
Do you get the answer? Like, or are you still solving it?
I think I got it.
Okay, so what's the answer?
X is -3
Mm-hmm.
and Y is -2.
-2.
No, I think I did that wrong.
You should let's do it together.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be -2. 5 1 1 4 5 4, 5, 1. It's right here. And 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right here. 5, 1. And 1, 4. Okay. So it's probably somewhere around here, right?
Yeah.
And so we know that, but X is right though. So if you do the same thing, you just set it up as 5 plus X divided by 2 equals 1, right? And which gives you -3, which is right. So you got the correct answer for that. But let's do Y together. 1 plus X divided by 2 equals 4. So try to solve it, right? So it should be 7, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So what else? Which one do you not like? Did you say question 50 or?
Yeah, 50, the distance formula.
Distance between each pair of objects. Okay, let's do 8 together. It's not. So they're asking you to find the distance between A and B, right?
Yeah.
And we know by looking at the graph, you know you like what's the coordinate for A?
1, 1.
Yep, it's 1, 1, right? So it should be here. Should be right here. 1, 1 should be A, right? And what's B? What's the coordinate for B?
4, 2.
4, 2, right? So now you have 2 coordinates, and you know the coordinates, right? You know 2 points, and you know their coordinates. So what do you do now?
Distance formula.
Yep. So we're just gonna plug it in, right?
Yeah.
And see, it should be x plus minus x1, right? x2 plus minus x1. So it doesn't matter like which one should be x or x1 or x2. Like they can be both. You just have to do the calculation right. So we know it's 1, 1, and it's 1, 2, 4, 2. So 1 and 2. 1 minus 2, right? Squared plus the y 1 minus 2. Oh, oops. That one should be 4,
Minus.
right? And then you square the whole thing, right? You square root the whole thing. So here we get 9, right? 9 plus 1, right?
Yeah.
10, square root of 10. That's the answer, right?
Yeah.
But it's asking you to compute the nearest end of a meter. But they might be ask you to find the decimals, so you have to. But if they ask you to do that, you just have to use the calculator.
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna write down the first, like the tens, the first couple numbers like behind the decimals, and that will be okay. That will be fine. And try to do B on your own.
Yeah.
but you don't have to use the calculator, so you don't have to get the decimals. Just get like whatever you get after you simplify the whole thing.
I got square root of 20.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, but remember we have to simplify it, right?
Oh,
So what's the like? How do you simplify square root of 20?
you can do 5 square root 4.
5 square root of 4? Are you sure 5 square root of 4?
No.
Gonna be 2 square root of 5.
2 square root of 5? Yup. See? That's how you do it. Because you get 4 times 5 equals 20, right? And you can extract the 2 out, the 4 out, which equals 2 outside. Okay. So any questions, or like do you still like struggling with like, or do you get everything?
Yeah, I'm trying to get everything now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can move on to a new point. Yep, here, the angle part. We talked about those last time, but remember they can be classified into acute, right, and obtuse, and also straight angles. So acute, which is like 0 degrees, like between 0 and 90 degrees, and right angle should be 90 degrees, obtuse should be 90 to 180, and straight line should be 180. Those should be straightforward. Okay, try to do this one. Let's do one. Let's do A.
Like, do you want us to say the answer now?
Yeah, let's do A. Like
Acute.
angle KHA. Yep, it is. And find the measure.
$55 degrees.
55. Yep, it
No.
is. And how about B?
Obtuse.
Yeah, obtuse.
GKEHK. Yep. And what's the degree? What's the measure?
180.
5.
20. What? What's
Wait,
that?
I got it wrong.
What's try to look check the measurement over here. What's the
125.
Yeah,
yeah,
125.
it is. So remember, look, if you're going clockwise, like from left to right, you can use the outer layer of the measurements. If you're going the opposite ways, just use the inner layer. Okay. Let's I think you guys get all of this. Try to solve this one. So you're given that angle KLM is a straight angle, right? So like how many degrees is in a straight angle, like
Wait, 180.
180, right? So you know that the entire angle is 180. Then it's asking you to find the measurement for the two angles, KL and NLM. So try to do it. It's like setting up equations, like by putting like everything you know together, setting up them equal, right? Do you have any idea of how to set up the equation?
10x minus 5 is greater than 4x plus 3.
That's an inequality, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can't really solve that, right?
Yeah.
They're asking you to find the exact measurement for each angle. But so you know that there's x, there's x in each angle, right? So you don't, that's why you don't know what's the exact value for that, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to solve for x. But how do you set up an equation that you can solve for x? You know that the entire angle is 180, right? And you know that angle ALN and NLM, they have different values, but they have x in it. But how do you set up an equation?
10x minus 5 equals 180. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
What? Are you sure that equals 180?
No.
What equals 180?
A straight angle.
Straight angle, the entire angle, right? From here to here, right?
Yeah.
But what's in it? What's between them? Two angles, right?
Yeah.
And
Like
so
and up to
by that, you know they add up into 180, right?
Yep.
So what do you do now if you know they add up together and they equal 180?
Oh, you add them?
Yeah, you add them. So 10x minus 5 plus 4x plus 3 equals 180, right?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
10x.
That makes sense now.
Right? Minus 5 plus what x? 4x plus 4. 4x plus 3 equals 180, right?
Yep.
Oh, this is hard to write. So now you just solve for it, right?
Yeah.
So combine the x together, 14x, right?
14x. Yep.
And you plus 5 on both sides and minus 3 on both sides. What do you get over on the other side?
-2. Whoa, no, I got that wrong. 2. Positive 2. Positive 2. Positive 2.
But what's together? 180 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
Then you divide it by 14, right?
Yep.
And what do you get? 13, right?
13. Yep.
And so now we know only x equals 13, right?
No.
So you just put it back, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. So 130 minus 5.
125.
Yep. And 13, 4 times 13, right? 52.
Yeah.
Minus plus 3.
55.
Yep. So that's the measurement for each angle. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to solve this one on your own. It's really similar to what we just did over here. What did you get?
X equals 29.
Yeah, but you have remember.
I didn't finish the problem yet.
Okay. So getting the x value is only the first part. You remember each time you have to put it back in. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the correct answer. What do you get?
EFH is equal to 60 and HFG is equal to 30.
Okay. Yep, that's correct. So here, congruent angles. Two angles are congruent angles if they have the same measure. So it's basically like two same angles that have the same measurement. So if they have the same measurements, you can say that measure of angle A and measure of angle B is equal. They are equal, right? Or angle A is congruent to angle B. But for most of the time, if you take geometry, you guys probably gonna take geometry next year, so you're gonna use congruent a lot. So remember, they're gonna say that angle A is congruent to angle B. They're not really gonna say equal. They're gonna say congruent, but just a different name for that. And also here, they have the red line over here, right? Like saying that, and they have the two same red line over here on each angle, which it's saying that they are congruent. So just simply by looking at the graph, like the diagram over here, you can know that over here, angle PTS and angle TSR, they're congruent. See, because they have the right red line over here. And over here, they have two same red lines right here. So it's telling you that QRS, the angle QRS and angle QPT, they are congruent. See?
Yeah.
Okay. Try this one. Try this one. So here, example 5. In the diagram at right. YW, remember YW, ray YW bisects angle XYZ. And you know that measure of angle XYW is 618. Find the entire angle, the measurement for the entire angle. So you know that they bisect each other, right?
Yeah.
Which tells you that the two angles over here, they're congruent, right?
Yeah.
And you also know that angle XYW equals 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then what's the entire measurement for the entire angle? What's the measurement for the entire angle?
36 degrees.
Yep, it is 36. See? I mean, those are pretty easy. I think you guys can, that's not a big problem for you. Okay. Try this one. What's the measurement for A? Right here.
This, no, that was wrong.
38.
30 what?
38.
Yep, it is 38. Remember, you know that this is a straight angle, right?
Yeah.
Which gives you 180 degrees for the, right? So you know that if you use 180 to minus 142, you get like 38, which is A, right? Okay. But how about B? What's the measurement for B? What's like what's its relationship with 142? Like, do you know, like, are there any relationships between them?
No, that must be wrong.
No, say it. I think you might be right.
A straight angle bisects them.
Look, see?
Yeah.
So you know, see, do you see that this is the straight line, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what's like? So you know that they're like, if they combine together, they equals 180, right?
180. Yeah.
Which is the same thing as this one, right? One
Yeah.
AN, which is same thing as A, right?
Yeah.
So you know this is 38, right?
Yeah.
Then what's C?
C. That was 38.
Remember? Are you sure that's 38?
No.
38 should be an acute angle, right? But this is obviously a obtuse angle.
142.
Yep, it is 142. So I don't think they haven't taught you they haven't given you there's a theorem for that. But remember, like, whenever there's two lines that crosses each other, and they're definitely gonna form four angles, right?
Yeah.
And remember, they always equals. They always equal to the opposite angle. They are always congruent, the opposite angles. Remember, see, like over here, angle A is always congruent to angle B, and this angle is definitely congruent to this angle, angle C. Get it?
Yeah.
Like over here, you know that angle D is definitely congruent to angle F, because see, two lines crosses each other and they form two angles, the opposite angles. They're always congruent. They're always congruent. Okay. Try to no. We can do this. You can do those on your own for homework. Copy and bisect segments and angles. Let's see. Honestly, you don't really have to do those. Describe angle peer relationship. Okay, this one is is pretty important. Two angles are complementary angles if the sum of their measurements is 90. Each angle is the complement of each other. And two angles are supplementary angles if the sum of their measures is 180. And so they're supplement of each other. And they're also, and complementary and supplementary angles can be adjacent angles and non-adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are two angles that share a common vertex and a side, but they have no common interior points. Okay, so here, so by that we know the definition of a complementary angles is that two angles add up to 90 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And here, they add up because you know that this is the 90 degrees angle and there are two angles in them. So you know they add up, they definitely add up to 190 degrees. So they're complementary angles. And also because they share the same vertex and a side, right? The side over here and the vertex over here. So they're adjacent angles. But they're also non-adjacent complementary angles. So if you know angle 3 and angle 4 add up to 90, they are complementary angles. But look over here, they don't share a same vertex, they don't share a same side. So they're non-adjacent, but they're complementary. Get it?
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing over here. They're supplementary. They add up to 180 and they're next to each other, right? Adjacent. But over here, they're not next to each other, so they are not adjacent, but they're still supplementary angles. Okay. Try to do this one. Given that angle 1 is a complement of angle 2, and measure of angle 1 is 68, then what's the measure of angle 2?
22.
22? Yep, it is. Right, correct. And how about this one, B?
Give me that. Supplement out.
Um,
126.
yeah, 126.
126?
I mean 124, 124, my bad.
Okay, yep, it is correct. Yeah, that's see, and there are also two adjacent angles, a linear pair if their non-common sides are opposite rays. The angles are in linear pair. The angles in a linear pair are supplementary angles. So see, over here, there are two angles. They are next to each other, right? And their non-common sides, which is the sides over here and the sides over here, right? They are opposite rays. See, so they go to the different directions. So, which gives you a linear pair, right? So you call angle 1 and angle 2 a linear pair. See? And also here, see, those are vertical angles that, see, they're opposite each other. If two sides form two pairs of opposite rays. And remember, angle 3 and angle 6 and 4 and 5, they're congruent to each other, right? They're always congruent to the opposite angle. Okay. Inter. Okay. Mix review. Classify polygons. Okay. Here. So polygon is a closed plane figure with the following properties. It is formed by 3 or more line segments called sides. So it has to be, so the polygon has to have like 3 or more line segments, right? They have to have 3 or more sides, at least 3 sides, and each side intersect exactly two sides, one at each endpoint, so that no two sides with a common endpoint are collinear, right? And there's also a vertex. See over here, they always intersect each other, so no one is collinear with the other one, right? And also for each side, for each two sides, they create a vertex between them, right? Okay. Convex if no line that contains a side of the polygon contains a point. I think that's not necessary. Remember the name for those polygon: triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, hexagon. But you don't really have to like memorize it, just to know, like just know that like if you see that, you have to know like, how many sides they have. But oh, here, in an equilateral polygon, all sides are congruent. Remember that. Equilateral means that the sides for the polygon, like all sides for the polygon, they are all congruent. They all have the same length. And equal angular polygon means that all the interior angles, see the angles inside, they are congruent.
Yeah.
Right. So let's try to do this to classify the polygon. Like remember, you have to count how many sides they have, right? So you have to classify them. You have to tell like what's the name for that, right?
Oh, that's a hexagon.
Yeah.
Yep. So because it has 6 sides, and whether the polygons are equilateral, equiangular, or regular.
Regular?
Yeah. So because you know that they're both equilateral and equiangular. How about this one?
Quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral. Yep, it is. Then is it equilateral or equiangular or regular?
Regular? No.
Are you
Equal,
sure?
right?
Equilateral.
Honestly, I don't think this is quite. It shouldn't be. It should be none though, because look over here. It doesn't. It only tells you that it only tells you the opposite lines, like the lines, the bottom line and the top line, they're congruent, and you know that the side lines concurrent, but you don't know that they like the side lines and the like the bottom line are congruent. So you can't say that they're equilateral, right? Because you're not sure. You don't know if they're congruent or not. But also here, the angles are not congruent, right? So I think they should be like it shouldn't be in like like they don't. It doesn't belong to any of this. Try to. I mean, those are pretty easy. You have to. You just have to remember the definition, like those, like from here to here. If you remember all the definition, then you're like you know everything already for this topic, for this like unit.
Oh,
I can give you some practice questions later for those, but I think we can pass this one because those are not like the really important part of the of geometry. Those are like just the beginning of geometry. But perimeter. Find perimeter circumferences. Yep, those this is quite important. So you know that the formula for perimeter, area A, and circumference, right? Remember, the perimeter and circumference, you might think they're similar, but and they are, but they they represent different things. Like perimeter is the like the length for the like those for square, rectangle, and triangle. But circumference is the length like the for circle. Like over here, you know perimeter is 4s, right? Because the square, you know that all sides and all angles are congruent. So it's 4s, and the area is s squared, side times side, right? Like, have you guys learned all this?
Yeah, we learned the formulas
How
already.
about rectangle, triangle, and circle?
No.
I learned about
Oh,
the circle.
We learned about circle.
Oh, you learned about circle, right? So you know
Yeah.
circumference is pi d, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diameter times pi, or two times the radius times pi, right? Which is the same thing. And the area should be pi r squared. How about triangle and rectangle? Have you learned that?
No.
Okay. So basically, you know, it's rectangle is similar to square. It just have, so it has like four right angles. So all the angles are congruent, but the sides are not. But so it's the same thing, but you just times two sides together, right? The L times W, like the base times the height, which gives you the the area, which is the area formula. It's like the same thing. It's which is like for square over here is also the base s and times the height, which is also s. That's why it is x squared, s squared, right? They're literally the same thing, but they just have different measurements. That's why they're written differently. Okay. But you also have to remember the formula for triangle. So you know perimeter is A plus B plus C. That's pretty simple, right? But remember, you have to remember the area formula. It's 1/2 times the base over here times the height. Okay. You might not get it. Like, I think they have a way. There's like a way to prove that. Like, I think like if you think that like if this is like a if this is a square, this is squared or a rectangle. You divide it by 2, right? And cut it in half, right? Half. You go over, you cut it in half. So you know that like the area over here and the area over here, they're congruent, right? Because I cut it in half. And this, so which creates 2 triangle, right?
Yeah.
And you know this is the base, this is the S, and this is the height, right? And you know this is because the reason you know this is the height because this is a right triangle, right? This is a right angle, right? So when you want to, so what's the formula if you want to get, what's the formula for rectangle and square? You use the base times the height, right?
Yeah.
So S times W, which gives you the area for the entire square over here, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I just want to get the half of it because I cut it in half. So you just times 1/2 because I cut it in half, right? You know those are congruent, right? Those 2 are congruent. Okay. You will get it later soon. Like you might not get it right now, but it's not that like difficult. But if you practice more, you will get it. See, for here, they still use distant formula. Like you're gonna use a lot of distant formula and middle point formula throughout geometry. So you definitely have to memorize that. Um. Okay. Um. Let's. Let's. I'll get some. Give you some homework for this week. We start from here. See, we get through a lot. We got through a lot this today. Because I'm thinking, like, are you guys good with the pace right now? Like, because I want to like get things like go faster because so that you guys can get like can be prepared for like the new school year.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Because like the way we did like 2 weeks ago, like that was like way too slow. We got through like one little unit per week, which is really slow. Like usually you should get through like a chapter by or like a week or 2 like at school. So let's write down some homework. So those are pretty easy. Okay, what's the page? Page 29, write down page 29.
Sorry, page 29.
Page 29, 11 to 14. '29, 11 to 14.
Okay.
And 22 to 24. 22 to 24. How about, okay, 22 to 26. Let's do also 25 and 26. So 22 to 26.
Okay.
And page 30. Page 30, 40 to 42. 40 to 42, those 3 questions. And the point. And let's see. Those are pretty easy. Page 39. Page 39. It should be 12 to 15. 12 to 15 over here. And try to do 31 to 33. 31, 30 to 33.
Wait, where are the pages again?
Page 39, 31 to 36. 33, I mean.
31 to 33, all right.
33. Now is here over here. And there are no questions. Yeah, you guys should practice this one. Page 45. Page 45. It's 8 through 13. The 6 questions over here. 8 through 13. And the perimeter. Okay. Let's just do, yeah, over here, right here. Page 52. Page 52. And question 4 to 9. That's it.
Just question 4 through 9.
Yep, 4 through 9. How's that like? Is that a lot, or can you guys do it? Because you guys have like a week to do it, so
Yeah.
I guess you just have to do like four or 5 questions a day, and you're going to be done.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll also send you an email. Like I'll send you the homework, like so you guys can remember like what you should do for like throughout the week. But last time, like for the next time, like next week before we start class, like try to send me like your homework maybe like a day or 2 like before the class. Okay.
Okay.
Like send it through email. Just to like you can take pictures and then send it through email. So I can I can see that like which part did you get it or which part did you not get it. Okay. Okay.
All right. All right, guys. You guys done?
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you you send Lucas a few days before your stuff, so you don't have to spend too much of time on. All right. That's the idea of connecting and working on your own during the week, right? So that it could help you guys move on to something else. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Lucas, I will call you during the week. Let's find a time. I'll text you. All right?
Okay.
All right, Myles, Tyler, have a
All
good day. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.